So we had a young woman in her, I think, mid-20s to late 20s, write in
Young.
quite upset because she found a gray hair in her pubic mound.
Oh, my. Well, it's interesting. I remember when my mother was in her mid-60s, 64, 65, she was in New York, and it was when I was having my show, and I wanted her to pose nude for me.
Of course, it's fabulous.
And I did a reclining nude, and she's lying there, and right away I'm looking, I said, Mother, where's your pubic hair?
Did you think she shaved it off?
I had no, because that was in a period when people weren't shaving.
No, they didn't do that.
We didn't do that in the 60s. We were au naturel. Bushy.
Look at an old copy of The Joy of Sex. Everyone had bush.
And long hair.
Yeah.
So it was an age of hair. And that was the big show on Broadway.
Yeah, exactly.
Hair. So she said, well, Betty Ann, it goes away after menopause. I said, what do you mean it goes away? She says, it gets bald. And I went, ugh. So one day I had one too. I had a bald pussy.
Isn't that interesting that we shave it young, not realizing that eventually it's going to fall out, and it goes gray like the hair on our heads.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
No, it's actually, there was a period I went through where my pubic hair, when I still had it, I have it again now, but that's because I'm taking the natural hormone. But it's very ratty. It's not a full bush. It's like, please. But it
kind of looks like a mustache around your clit. It looks like a clit stash.
No,
I know, because I groom her before the body sex.
That's when I get rid of the top and let
and it just has
and when we were in Denmark, I got it so that I could curl it
up the sides and make it look like a curly mustache.
So I had this little curled mustache right over my clitty. So yes, at one point I looked down and it was right at the little nest where it's round by your clit. There was actually quite a few white hairs.
Ooh.
And I liked it when you got a suntan. It was the white and the gray against the brown skin.
It's kind of pretty.
It was gorgeous. No, I loved it. So we don't understand. I remember one time a friend of mine, a young man, was talking about his girlfriend didn't know there was such a thing as menopause.
You don't realize that your vagina is going to change. Your hair is going to go gray on your pubic mound. It's going to fall out. Sex will change.
Well,
but what is the one constant?
No, you don't have to do any contraception. You're no longer fertile.
But your clitoris will always work.
Like a dream, I might say it even works better. But your vagina will change, but your clit remains the same. Your vagina will change, but your clit remains the same. Absolutely.
I like that.
Absolutely. That's a mantra.
That's a mantra for our aging.
This is something that women have that men don't.
It's very true.
Their menopause is 49, 50, and then there begin this gradual decline. So, guys, get it while it's good. The point is that age changes everything.
Yes.
Everything. So why not enjoy your youth or your middle age?
And just because you have a gray hair on your pussy doesn't mean anything.
Please. That is, it.
I mean, you can pluck it out if it really makes you that upset.
Well, it too will grow in its place.
That's how I feel. I mean, I've gone down on plenty of men that had like little white and gray hairs on their ball sacks. I didn't freak out and be like, they're old. It didn't bother me.
Some people in their 20s are very old. Some people in their 50s are very young.
Exactly, and some people go gray prematurely. You know, I got my hair cut last time, and Mitzi was like, hold on a minute, and he grabs the tweezer, and he pulls out like this 3-inch white hair, but it was like right in the middle of my hair, and he pulled it out, and he showed me, I'm like, no! I'm like, you just pulled out my wild hair. What have you done? Leave it.
There is a myth around the wild hair.
Right?
Isn't there?
There is, and I'm like, what? Oh, I'm Googling on my phone, I'm like, you just ruined it. No!
What does that mean? You're no longer wild?
I think so, if I lose my wild hair. So think of it as your wild hair.
Just think of it as a natural process of being in a human body. What do we think? That we're made out of plastic? That nothing's going to change? Yeah. Really, darling, nothing to be concerned about. But it is a little alert. Darling, I am growing old. Silver threads among the gold.
And that's a good thing. It means that we have wisdom. It means that we have perspective, and we've learned
A lot of things
A
I
lot
don't.
of things, yeah.
I don't like the aches and the pains, but oh, I love the wisdom. It's getting old. There's so many aspects.
There are moments when we're talking, and out of left field, you'll say something, and you just nail it, and I'm just like, and I'm like, I didn't even see that.
Well, you hang around the planet for 80 some years, and you'll start to
It's
see
patterns, and you see it enough.
you start to see a lot of things. Anyway, don't worry about your gray hair, and don't worry about going bald, and don't worry about all of these superficial things, because for women, the clitoris is going to be good forever. And men, it's not all over either. You can maintain a nice, strong penis, but you have to exercise it.
Exactly. You have to put in the work.
And don't exercise it with the thought in mind that will be with intercourse. It will be with your own sweet little hand. Okay, so use it or lose it.
Pretty much.
Happy Mother's Day.